channeling from the quantum downs. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Black goat elf, Dotta puppet too. Bearsnake by the ocean blue. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Kobolds and dream masters soar, putting their root on the door. It's Wizard Wednesday forevermore. Wizard Wednesday, lore at the core. We are a cult with a world of our own, never forgotten or magic is known. It's Wizard Wednesday, it's Wizard Wednesday. Let's read from the book of lore, legendary wizards at the core. Don't get lost in the quantum shadow, abracadabra is our magical manifesto. Wizard Wednesday. Eat a donut, set your soul on fire. The sacred flame on a funeral pyre. The seventh gate with golden locks. The nightmare imp with a treat box. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday.
Today is September 25th, 2024. It is, of course, Wizard Wednesday. It is, of course, a good day to join a cult. Channeling in from the Quantum Downs, this is the Black Goat of the Wood, Elf J Trul. And I guess you guys already introduced yourself?
Yep, we did.
Great. Everybody knows us. First question, guys. Are we entering the banana zone?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't know, but that sounds great to me.
I think so. It feels like we bottomed out. It feels like the right time. Here are some pieces that I'm seeing, right? So the most obvious one would be the Federal Reserve
Rate cuts.
Yeah, rate cuts. So, and not just like 25 bips. You got a whole point, like 50 bips. So that's amazing.
You got a half a point.
I got a half point. And that's like, you know, almost like an emergency rate cut. So that's a little ridiculous. Does the economy warrant a 50 bips rate cut? I don't think so. But hey, it's good for our bags. So some other pieces that we're seeing is the election, right? Everyone's been super uncertain about the election, whether you like Trump or Kamala. Really, I think a lot of people are just holding back because it's not like investors will make money over the next 4 years one way or the other. You just kind of want to know what game you're playing, right? And so the risk to reward is actually just way too high when you don't know what kind of administration you feel like you're going to be dealing with over the next 4 years. You can already feel some of that pressure coming up, even though people will debate over who's going to win. But you can see some pieces moving.
The market just wants certainty.
Yeah.
That's really all it wants.
Which is impossible.
Yeah, I mean, not until the election. But you know, here's the third thing. October is colloquially known as Uptober, which begins in like, what, 5 days? So that's good.
The summer is always like this. The summer is always like this.
I was going to say, you guys, I know that both of you guys look at cycles pretty closely. Do you feel like this so far we have like sort of hit all the beats that like we kind of thought we would? I think we all thought the summer was going to slosh around a bit.
I think the cycle is totally on schedule. I think the only thing that really threw us for a loop was the Bitcoin ETF approval, which like maybe gave a little bit of a false jump start. And now that it's like traded sideways for 6 months, it's sort of threw the cycle off a little bit, but now I think it's actually back on schedule.
I also think the thing that threw people off was meme coins, because like historically meme coins would be at the end of the tail risk cycle, right? So like the classic secrets of
Yes.
crypto, right? This was the year that you had people declare the death of the secrets of crypto diagram, which is like this idea that it starts with Bitcoin, then with ETH, then with Alt L1s, and the DeFi majors, the DeFi
Yep.
miners, NFTs, and then meme coins. And so then what basically happened is you went straight from Bitcoin to meme coins and nobody understood it. And it was like, I think that the meme coins were actually like an act of desperation in a bear market where like no substantive shipping could actually make any sort of difference.
That is a really interesting point because yeah, like you're saying, like usually the safer Bitcoin and blue chips are the ones to lead, and then after those lead, speculators go far down the risk curve. But meme coins are like as far on the farthest end of the risk curve as you could possibly get, and they kind of have been leading for the past few months.
Do you think it's because there's more people in crypto and like it's expanded beyond like sort of that initial group of like finite group of people that were just trading crypto, and now we have like out of NFTs came a little bit more culture, and out of that culture came sort of tokenizing memes. I feel like that's maybe playing a part in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's true.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that I think that the from my perspective, it's just this idea that like you go and you research super hard some DeFi project and like you understand like the mechanics of like Ample and like the three different tranches of stable coins, and then you place a bet, and then like no one else can even understand that idea, so no one else buys in after you except for maybe like a handful of other sophisticated players, right? And so you spend all this time and energy because you're playing this kind of like Graham and Dodd's thesis of like value investing in crypto, and then you actually don't really like make anything. And so there was really just this like almost like a nihilism that like it wasn't worth it trying to build something useful. It's just like all I actually really wanted was the speculation value anyway. So why don't I
Yeah.
speculate on a dog with a hat?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. But yeah, I think it's going to shift back more towards the builders and the legit sort of tokens and projects. I'll tell you one thing. I remember there was a lot of talk about the so-called left translated cycle. I don't think that's in play
Oh,
anymore.
explain. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either.
Well, people were when they say left translated cycle, they essentially meant that the bull run peak would come way earlier than previous cycles,
Ooh.
meaning it would all be like translated to the left of the sort of timeline. Um, but now, yeah, I don't think that's in play anymore because it's been so flat for like over 6 months, and I think it's really just right back on schedule.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked at those. I haven't looked at those numbers exactly. But I think that
And
we're. I don't know. It's in the air. I think anecdotally, you're seeing kind of like in my like trading Telegram groups are waking up, right? People from kind of years ago are now all of a sudden starting to talk about what they're buying, and I don't know. It just feels in the air.
here's another thing I'm wondering about. ETH has been pretty bearish for the past few months, and there's always the classic talk of ETH killers and how Sol is the new ETH, and Sol led the whole meme coin cycle, and so people are really wondering like what's the future of ETH look like? And the one thing that I think just consistently has been ignored lately is the way that like BlackRock has made an ETH ETF. It hasn't really reflected in the price the way the Bitcoin ETF did. But one thing that Larry Fink has constantly said over the past few months is this idea of tokenizing everything, namely tokenizing stocks and equities. And so that, I mean, that if there's utility for ETH, that sounds massive, and um, nobody seems to be trading on that idea yet.
Do
Have
we?
you guys heard about
I
that?
don't know, but like, do we think that ETH is going to be the chain that does it? Right. I just feel that like. Um, I guess that I feel that like centralized actors will try to centralize the chain, right? I don't actually expect they'll wholly use Ethereum or even an L2 on Ethereum. Like maybe, right? Maybe they resolve some value on ETH.
I just don't know why BlackRock would create an ETH ETF if they didn't have big plans for it, like tokenizing equities.
I guess I would
You
just think
know?
that they just see that they can make money at it. I don't know. Maybe that's
potential.
yeah.
But also, like, you know, I've heard a lot of talk about how, like, you know, ETH is regarded as the more sort of reliable, sort of, I don't know, like institutionalized smart contract chain, whereas Sol is more like the people's contract, smart contract chain. And so that's why the institutions would choose ETH to tokenize equities over Sol. What do you think of that?
I guess that I think that makes sense. Yeah, like Sol still has like serious problems in terms of
Yep.
decentralization
Yep.
and like the
Stability.
stability. I think that ETH has a much bigger kind of like developer mind share. The like it's
Yep.
better. There's a lot of the hacks are better understood on ETH. You can the roll ups are now working on ETH, right? I would expect if you're going to try to do some sort of like stocks settlement on chain, you'd have basically your own permission to roll up to do it. And so I think all of that makes sense as a potential path.
Yep. Yep.
So are we entering the banana zone?
I think we are.
We are. Here's the only problem is that although Elf doesn't really believe me, there is an extinction due for bananas, and it's due to fungal disease, and it's called
Bear, I swear to
it's called the Panama disease. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I swear to God, every time Doda and I have to try to have a serious conversation, you have to bring it down to kobold level.
Yes,
Okay.
you're.
I
By the
was
way,
actually
you're welcome.
finally ready. Yeah, I'm finally ready
Yeah,
to jump in the
exactly.
conversation. Bearsnake is exactly right. The reason that imitation banana flavor doesn't taste right is it's because it was modeled after an extinct banana, and they were all killed by fungus.
Yeah, yeah. You're
The
talking
Cobalt
about
Strike Back.
Yeah, I know. Cobalt Strike Back. You're talking about crypto meta cycles, and I'm talking about things on the planet that are grown. I am all about planet Earth. I'm about you hate nature, you hate animals, clearly.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Wait, Tad. Okay, let's talk about the banana fungus. Fine, fuck it. Tad, you're telling me that like banana crops are failing because there's like a new fungus that's
Yeah,
attacking
there
the.
was basically two banana varieties, right? So like,
Mhm.
there's like I don't know what it's called. But the old banana flavor was the old went extinct, and now there's just like the normal banana, which is like Cavendish or something,
It's
and
really not good. It doesn't taste good.
it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste like banana runts, that's for sure. And but they're worried that the Panama disease will take out the Cavendish banana too, and then we're done.
Yeah,
And
and
then we're done with bananas.
so
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
actual reasoning for this is actually because all bananas that you eat are actually clones. If you notice bananas, they have like no seeds. That's because like we bred them that way. They cannot produce offspring from your seed. All bananas are infertile. So only way that you make new banana trees is you cut off like a branch or like a root from like another banana tree and you replant that, and so that grows into a new banana tree and it grows banana. But that means it has the same parents, so it has the same genetic information, right? Because the way the fruits work is just, they're the reproductive organs of the parent. So you're just planting the tree in new places. So there's no genetic variety. So when there is this fungal infection that's going after them, they don't have any kind of biological like mechanism of evolution to kind of like get past that. Like if one is susceptible to them, all of them are going to be susceptible to it, right? Whereas like those like other species, maybe like a certain group of that population be susceptible to it, but like there's like another group that is able to survive, and so like you kind of get to mitigate that risk of extinction. But with bananas, you don't really have that because we kind of put ourselves into a hole by breeding them to have no seeds.
Yeah, Matto's
So
totally right. The march forward of evolution of the fungus has caused them to overcome the defenses of the banana, and you're doomed to eat worse and worse tasting bananas as the years go on. So we got to get a handle on this.
Okay, if bananas go extinct, will you guys actually miss them?
I
Or can
don't
you
eat
do-
bananas already. No.
I like bananas.
I eat bananas every day, but I don't eat your garbage bananas that get
Oh,
sent up
shit.
and shipped to the States. I eat
What?
delicious bananas that are.
Sorry, we
Are they
can't all
grown by
live in the
seeds?
jungle.
There's a lot of different varieties of bananas here. There's a lot of different flavors.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know. When I go back to the States, I can't eat a banana there. It's like a mockery.
I do like plantain chips.
Oh yeah, can we just replace them all with plantains?
They don't taste
there
the
are other
same.
varieties. There are other varieties of bananas that we will surely replace them. Like we said before, the previous banana went extinct, and we just kind of replaced it with another banana. But now we have this banana is about to go extinct, so we're just gonna. There's tons of different varieties that we'll pick
Run
from.
the course.
Yep.
Oh man.
Elf didn't
Wow.
believe me. See, you
Can't
learn
wait.
something new every day.
To buy a pack of heirloom banana seeds.
Bear, are you snapping a thing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I will stop. I'm
Jesus.
fidgeting.
You are a fidget. Okay, so we have talked more about actual bananas than the banana zone. I guess that's what kind of space this is.
The game's
man.
closed. We got to open up the game. What are we
When
supposed to
game?
do?
Yeah, Matto, win game.
Hopefully soon. Hopefully
Yeah.
soon. I think we'll definitely have more
Man.
information as we have as we have more time to kind of evaluate what needs to be added and how long those changes could be. So.
Yeah, I mean this is generally it's going to be down, and there'll maybe be some things that happen, some tests here and there. Maybe some people get to participate, maybe not. But get it ready for live service. Yeah, there's so much, Matt. It's just amazing what goes into. Okay, you say live service. Well, what does live service mean? What things are we going to be able to build in V1? And then what does like the frequency of new content being delivered look like? All that stuff, like it just all needs to get decided on, or I should say finalized. We know what a lot of it is, but
Yeah, I mean, we know a lot of it is, but we can't drop it all on Wizard Wednesday.
yeah, exactly.
Bear, I can still hear you snapping.
That wasn't me. That was Jitsi.
It was 1,000% you.
I'm muted.
God damn it, Jitsi.
I'll tell you one thing about the game. What I've been working on for the past few weeks is aligning the lore of the game much more closely to the book of lore, the Wikipedia, the things we talk about in Wizard Wednesday. That was sorely lacking. And honestly, my life has been so much fun lately because I'm just really getting into the lore of the game. So I don't know. That's one thing that I'm really looking forward to with future releases.
Yeah, I mentioned actually earlier in the sales chat that there's going to be we're currently in the middle of kind of a overhaul in terms of the game's lore, and kind of aligning it more with Ground Rune's brand. You're playing a huge part in that. There's a lot of dungeons that we had that were kind of they're in base level, and Elf is kind of going over them and kind of uprooting some of the concepts and some of the monsters and stuff that will be in there, so that way they're actually more in line. So a lot of that is going to be in place. I mean, it's going to be a bit before that actually comes to fruition because a lot of the game has been made for past 2 years. So there's a lot of stuff assets and stuff that were made previously, and we'll find a way to kind of fit them in and make sure that all the lore fits in with it. So but we're really excited to have that more aligned with the Forgotten Runes IPs. That way, it feels more like a world for the Wizards that the Wizards help build out to it. And so I think part of that we saw also with we ended up. For one of the dungeons that we put in there for the closed beta, we actually had a wizard held by a community member to play a role in that storyline, and we want to do more stuff like that too. So that's just going to come more down the line. We want to make sure that it feels more like the world that you guys have all been building together with us, and we've all been building, the Forgotten Runiverse together into a story that we can relate to. So
Matt,
that's all.
Matt, I know you've touched on this in chat a little bit too. Maybe you can talk just for a hot second about how that character was chosen to be in the game, because I know there's been a lot of people that have asked hey, if I write some lore about a dungeon, is that something that could potentially be involved into the game?
I don't particularly have the finer details about how the character was picked in particular. I know that I gave a list of wizards to the dev team to kind of like, hey, here's like some wizards that, and for me particularly, what I look for is I kind of look for story, like one stories that seemed like, they actually had like, a lot of thought put into them. I look for like characters that had illustrations with them, that it felt like a realized character, right? And kind of like those stories stuck out to me, and I think that would be a lot easier for me to do as well. And as we get to like more of the lore ranking, and like, we actually have some kind of like almost like a leaderboard of like lore and such, and that's all being built. But I guess like, the core aspect of it is, make some lore that feels like, it stands out, that like when somebody looks at it, you're able to tell that you put your heart and soul into it, and it actually brings that character to life. And it's more likely for like, that lore to be picked up, because we're referencing the book of lore, right? So it's like, those characters, as we're looking through the book of lore, if it feels like it speaks to us, it feels like, a character that, would be good in the game, or that like somebody really actually cares about, those are more likely to be put in than a character that has like no lore, or a character that has like a one line for the lore, right? We want to make sure that characters that are represented are characters that people actually feel like, they're happy that they're represented in there, rather than like, oh yeah, that's cool, right? So yeah, I would say the more heart you put into your character, the more likely. I'll see if I can get maybe more thoughts from the dev team as to like why particularly, because like I said, I gave like a list of characters, why particularly they gravitated towards the wizard that they did pick. But that may be for another time. So that's a good question. I'll see if I can get those finer details.
I'll tell you one thing that helps me choose like community members, wizards, to put into lore, comics, or really just anything. Like here's some things that I do. Sometimes I simply just go to the Twitter timeline and see who in our community a lot of people are talking about, or who's posting a lot of artwork or lore. Sometimes I just go in Discord and see who's active and who's just been doing a lot of lore and artwork. I definitely go to the Loracle a lot and just ask it questions. Like if I need a wizard who has like slayed a dragon or whatever, I'll just ask the Loracle, like, which wizard has slayed a dragon, and it'll tell me. Point being is just like it helps to like be super active, to put a lot of artwork and story on Twitter, and to just write a lot of lore. That's really a great way to get your stuff into these other media expressions.
I also think it's good for us to like pause and take a victory lap with like how insanely good the numbers were on the Runiverse game, right? Like it's still shocking to me that we are one of only really a handful of projects, especially NFT projects, that have actually shipped a game that's been played by so many users. And then the numbers were ridiculous, especially when you compare those numbers to what you might see for some of the like the greatest free to play games, right? So for example, like I forget which metrics we published already, but whatever. Like we had basically about 100,000 players in the game, right? So as much as we talk about, oh, how many addresses are in the daily donuts or whatever, there was basically about 100,000 users, and the revenue was well over $100,000. And like when you look at like the kind of the average revenue per user of like some of the best free to play games in the world, it's only like $10, right? Like there's do you guys know the game like Puzzle and Dragons? It had like over $1 billion in revenue. Their like lifetime value of a user was only like between like $10 or $12 USD. And so
Wow.
the fact that in like 2 weeks we already are getting basically 1/10 of the average revenue per user of like some of the greatest free to play games ever is like incredibly successful, like incredibly successful. This has like been one of like the biggest launches they've had on Ronin. The DA, the concurrent users were like really consistent throughout the whole thing. So like, when you look at the numbers, and I published the footprint spreadsheets, you can see like, yes, the first 5 or 6 days, some of the numbers trended down because everyone was just so frustrated about some of the bugs. We took the game down for a day, the bug was fixed, and then the numbers were just like basically up only from there. And so I think like, yeah, we basically had, I think, something like 35 million like boss defeats, like players defeating bosses, like a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of usage. And so like, I mean, well, I think it's important that people like know that and recognize it. We should probably do another round of like tweeting about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was almost 1.5 million hours played. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the
what's so.
average
Yeah,
the average hours played was like 15 hours per user.
yeah. it's I think it goes back to like a lot of the projects from sort of our class who are still here and actually shipping things. A lot their biggest and ours also is their biggest thing is like distribution. Right? Like how do you get distribution? How do you get more people engaging with whether it's your NFTs, it's a product that you build, just something that's bringing in more people and Pudgies do have plushies and physicals in Walmart. Azuki's doing anime, Claynosaur's doing anime, just coming out with a game. I think this was a huge step forward in growing the awareness and like actual usage of something we made. That is like pretty freaking cool.
Yeah,
And
we've brought in a
it's pretty
massive
cool.
amount of new people from the Ronin community into the cult. We've like shipped a real game that tons of people play that generates real revenue. And so like the future for Forgotten Runes is one of this like substantial like a substantial like business that can survive for a long time.
You guys showed me an interesting little table of numbers a few days ago of all the we've got like where our players are located
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
world. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can talk about it. So that we have like a pie chart of the player base of people who like visited the website and then played the game. And so again, like we've grown the cult quite a lot. Like 35% of the people were from Brazil. Like 13% are from the Philippines, 10% from Vietnam, like 6% from Indonesia, and really like only 6% from the United States, like Russia, Argentina, Morocco. So really like honestly, like the game really takes, along with like the Ronin partnership, takes the cult global. It's been an enormous number of new people into the cult.
Yeah, I just thought it was crazy that like Brazil, Philippines, and Vietnam, there's more players in those places than the U.S. Like, and by a lot.
By a lot, yeah. And that's also been helpful for us too to see like 35% of the player base was in Brazil, and during the build, Twitter, our main marketing platform, got like banned,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so a lot of the quests that we built, like a huge number of the quests, the social quests, were built around like, oh, go follow this person on Twitter, and it was like people just literally couldn't do it. And even we're learning as a team as we've been like working with Ronin, just how much things like Facebook are like they'll use Facebook way more than they use Twitter. Like a lot of the people in the US use Twitter, they use Facebook. And so that's some of the things that we're putting together in sort of our like marketing plan is like different regions value different social networks, and we need to make sure that we're like marketing to where our users actually are using the networks our users are using.
Yep. So this is where we announced that we will no longer be doing spaces on Twitter because we have to talk to Brazil, Philippines, and Vietnam, and we're using Facebook from now on. So
It really is something though, that I am actively thinking about trying to solve for. My plan was to have a restream set up for Discord at the very least this week. I'm battling a little sickness, so keep me on the hook for that for next week. We'll take care of you folks in Brazil. Don't worry.
yeah, isn't X coming back to Brazil though? I thought I saw some movement on that.
That's kind of why I paused. I was going to set up some things to do it. I basically need to have a second machine run it while we do it here on Twitter. But I had heard some reports that people were getting access back. That something had shifted, and I was reading into it a little bit. But it doesn't seem like that's changed too much. I'm not sure if it's like on the precipice of being different, or if it's something that has changed. I need to look further into it.
Yeah.
It's a shame though.
Bear, you speaking of foreign countries, you were in Singapore last week.
Yeah, went to the other side of the planet. That was cool.
What were you doing there?
I went to Token 2049, which this was my first trip to Singapore. It was quite an experience. I think one of the reasons that we've held off for like going over there and expanding is like we didn't really have a pole planted over there. And now with the Ronin game, I think we have a lot more people that, as we were just talking about, have a lot more people that are interested in playing the game and know about Forgotten Runes. So for me, like my number one mission was just going there. It was an opportunity to go over there and make, just make some new friends, meet partners who are experts over there, just learn more about how everything works. Obviously there's a lot of similarities. It's both crypto, but I think it's important to get on the ground and meet people face to face. So meeting with the Sky Mavis team, meeting with the part of the team that works strictly on Ronin. Ronin had a big event. We were front and center in it with a couple other games. They had a panel that first night I was there. They introduced something called Waypoint, which is we can get into that when we start using it. But it's this seedless wallet. They're making a ton of tools to help sort of onboard the masses, right? And that just makes everything that much easier for us to like have our game on there and have like smoother rails. So yeah, got to meet everybody in person for the first time. Met with a lot of the guild leaders, met with Gabby, who's head of YGG, spent a lot of time with the Wolves DAO guys. They're really, really good group of people supporting games like in all the right ways. There's just a ton of pockets and guilds and communities that have very little crossover with sort of, where we came from in the ETH world. And so, yeah, it was really great. Got to spend a lot of time with Kalos from Parallel. Yeah, a lot of new partnerships coming out of that, and just a lot of good stuff. So yeah, it's really far away. Also,
what was like sort of the big theme that everybody seemed to be talking about there? Was it like gaming?
yeah,
Was it AI coins? Was it?
I would say
Was it snapping things?
it was definitely snapping things during Twitter Spaces and
Uh-huh.
annoying your partners for sure.
Yeah.
I thought I'd bring that back to the U.S.
Got it.
No, I would say my view is probably a little bit skewed because a lot of my conversations are around games, but I think in general games were a really, really big topic. Games. I think also, Solana Breakpoint happened right then also, which was like the big yearly Solana event. So I ended up staying 2 more days and looking at what's going on there. Honestly, it feels so ETH 2021 to me. All these new apps are being built. There's a lot of new projects, everything across like DeFi to like consumer apps and video games. So that was really cool to meet a lot of those people. I think in our world we have to just sort of, whether we actually engage with something, I think it's important to know what's going on and what's being built. I think that's been one of our strengths, is sort of understanding where the space is going and trying to get ahead and take advantage. So, yeah, AI coins were big. Kalos demoed his Wayfinder, I think it's called, app. I was completely blown away with it. Dude, I'm not sure if you saw that. Did you see, like, I think Kayla's posted a demo of it, but he was doing it in real time. It was really impressive.
It's really amazing what they're doing. There's a lot of opportunities for AI and crypto, that's for sure.
Yeah, totally. It didn't seem that meme coin ridden, although one party I definitely was not going to go to was the Mother Party. I guess Iggy Azalea flew over and had took over like a go-go bar, and it was just like every single influencer dancing with Iggy Azalea. I guess she brought go-go dancers over from the US because she didn't want the Singaporean go-go dancers. I don't know, but I'm really happy I was not there.
I feel like that's the one party you should have gone to over any other.
You know what? Maybe you can go to that party.
Next time,
Mrs. Bear is not going to be down with pictures of me hanging out with Iggy Azalea in a go-go bar. And plus, honestly, it's just not my scene either. But I also got to go to the zoo. I went to the Singapore Zoo for an 8chain event. That was cool.
They held an event at the zoo?
Did I not tell you about this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, 8chain, friends of ours doing a lot of cool stuff. Dookie Dash is on 8chain, fun fact. Anyway, they took a bunch of us. It was like me and like Liz from Mizuki, and I don't know. There's just a bunch of people. They brought us to the zoo. We got on a bus, went to the zoo. We got a nocturnal animal tour. So we saw all the nighttime animals. Then we like ate. We like had this. We had like a little meal. We tested their top
Which
trainer.
animal did you eat?
Oh, what animal did I eat? Oh, I was kind of, honestly, we were like seeing big cats and there were not rhinos, there were big hippos. It did not seem secure. It felt like they could just like jump right over and pick us off, which made me a little uncomfortable. But they brought out like almost like a, you know, when you're in like elementary school and you go to the zoo and they bring out animals and the zookeepers like bring out animals you can touch. So they brought out a boa. They brought out a civet, which is like the cutest animal ever. And then an owl. So we got to like play with animals too, which is pretty neat. You would have loved it, Elf.
I would have loved it.
Yeah. So anyway, just you know, catching up with old friends, meeting a lot of new ones, learning about things that we need to learn about, so we can be successful with the game. It was very cool. Like coming back, I'm even more excited about the Banana Zone.
Bear, everybody's making fun of you for your fidget toys in the secret tower. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, I'm gonna go back in there. Let's see. Yeah. Silent
Sorry, I
fidgets.
had to meme it.
Oh my god, thanks.
Entropy, if he does it one more time, just kick him off, seriously.
Mute everyone. Start playing SBC's lore recording.
Yeah, it's time.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's see. Jason, I know Jason wanted to come up and talk about something that he's been building. Jason, are you ready?
Yo, what's up, guys?
There he is. What up, Jason?
What up, Jet?
How you doing?
Pretty
We're
good. How you doing?
So, yeah, I guess I'll just talk for a minute.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with some decentralized metaverse stuff, and so basically, you can now make you can do stuff with decentralized servers, and then someone made like a game engine on Arweave. So now I was like, oh, let's play with, let's make a 2D game with these decentralized servers and stuff. And now we got wizards walking around, and we got a community daily donut, and you can rock, paper, scissors the computer for some tokens and go play fishing and listen to music, and it plugs into the decentralized playlist with the contract wizard. So it's literally the actual first metaverse music player. So yeah, like we're doing shit, dude. Like it's pretty fun, and it's the Runiverse without VC funding, and yeah, and it's open source, and anyone could add anything. Like Feckless has like a in lore like food shop. You know what I mean? Like he's made up all this food and stuff. So like I found that out recently because I was like, I have some like crops that you can harvest in this world, right? And they're all tokens, right? Like when you fish, all the things you catch in like you can catch a rare plum while you're fishing, and that's a token. But like I was making like crops, like how in Runiverse you click a button and you harvest the thing, you gotta wait. So I made that, but it's like decentralized and all that shit. So I was making food. And then I realized, oh, dude, Feckless has a whole food company. So now we got to like craft the food into his food recipes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah. So I'm here to announce Runiverse Bake Sale. We're going to have a bake sale.
I'm
and
so in.
Come collect your get your community donuts. And anyone want to make a new community donut, let me know. We'll make more community donuts, and come harvest the food and make some recipes, and let's make some recipes. Let's do a bake sale.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on.
So Jason has been sharing screenshots of what he's been building with me lately, and I over the years I keep coming back to this feeling, which is like, okay, at Magic Machine we've wanted to make like pony breeding and pony burning and pony racing, and we wanted to make a fishing game, and we wanted to make a crafting game, and we have so many ideas that we want to build, and then the community builds them. And that's what's kind of beautiful about a sort of like decentralized project, is that, you don't as Magic Machine don't have to build everything because the community is creative and is talented and is capable enough to build all these things themselves. And so like, part of me is like jealous that Jason, you get to make a fishing game, for example. But part of me is also like, great, the Runiverse has a fishing game now. So yeah, man. I mean, you have just been so busy making so many things, and it just, I'm jealous of all the fun you appear to be having.
So tell us about how we can actually log in and try it out. I shared some tweets up here, but maybe you could give some guidance to people who want to come in and play it, and then also maybe even contribute.
Sweet. Yeah. So it's like really early right now, so it's not like it's not a fun game like the Runiverse is. It's like it's impressive on the back end, right? It's impressive for the nerds, but for regular people, it only works on your desktop computer right now. But it's it's still a 2D online multiplayer world that you could like hang out in and talk to the wizards. Like there's a chat room and stuff. So the amount of gameplay, is just like clicking characters and then interacting in menus and stuff. So that's how the minting and stuff works. And if you want to get involved, it's all open source and it's like all Lua, like the language. So it's pretty easy to learn and stuff. So like I could put a door in or whatever in one of the spots and it will go to your world, right? Like if you want to make a world Dota, like I could show you. Like when I first figured out how to do this, I dragged Bill Gaines with me along, like because one of my RV buddies was going to show me how to do it, and I was like, okay, I'll bring Bill too, and like that's how Bill met these guys. I dragged him in and we did it in like a half hour or something. But I could do that same thing to you. I could show you how to make a world really, really, really quick. And then I could put a door to that world in my world. And then that'll be like that world is a server that you run. And then like every NPC in your world is its own little server, process that all talks to each other.
And Jason, all of this is built on top of your contract wizard, right?
No, that's Arweave. All this stuff on this whole game thing is all Arweave.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, amazing. How are you like writing the Lua code to do it? Like, are you writing Lua by hand, or are you able to use Claude or like some other like AI to help assist? Like, what's the workflow for somebody who wants to like create their own world and like Feckless is doing with his food shop?
Oh, well, like the world is its own process on the Arweave's decentralized supercomputer thing. It's pretty heavy, dude. It's crazy stuff. So, but basically, like it's just like the world is just like a list of all the stuff in the world, basically, and then each thing in the world is its own program. So you have to like the when you go to the world, the welcome guy who welcomes you, it's like just a little menu of a dude saying welcome, but that's like a program. So it's like there's a little bit of that, where it's kind of if you're not already an Ethereum dude, it's going to be a little hard for you.
Yep, got it. Cool, amazing. Well, I tried it out the other day and I walked around. It was super duper fun. So, but it sounds like there's some new stuff in there that I gotta join and try it out. I'm gonna try it out right now.
Yeah, man. It's just the idea that like it seems like this is the metaverse now, or because it's all running on decentralized servers.
Amazing. Well, try it out. Everybody should try it out. Hop over to, check out the pinned tweet. We've got realityviewer.ar.io. Is that subdomain of Reality Viewer, is that part of the game engine? Well, I guess I'm just going to have to look it up, aren't I?
Yes, that's exactly like that's the renderer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we've got some lore today. Let's see,
right before we get to lore, if you'll allow me, while we're on the topic of community-made games, I have remastered and re-hosted Shuck's Pumpkin Panic, the Halloween game I made 2 years ago.
Amazing.
It is now hosted on feckless.toys. There's a button that'll take you to it, or feckless.toys/shucks. And I just posted a tweet, I don't know, about half an hour ago, maybe a little more than that.
Just pinned it up here.
Let me find it and pin it up there. I am holding a little speedrunning competition. So anyone who can beat the boss in less than 140 seconds gets a free Hero of Cumberland.
Ooh, amazing. And how much more time do we have to pre-order our bread, friends?
You have more time. I should be getting the sample, the proofs, probably within the next week. So I'll be sharing out what they'll actually look like very soon. But there's still time to order some. So again, just on feckless.toys, you can pre-order a bread friend there.
I ordered
Amazing.
4. I ordered 4 of them.
I know.
Nice.
I got to order some right now. I keep saying that every week, but I'm at my desk right now.
Do it. Feckless, don't even ship them to me. I'll just see you at IRL Alpha or something. We'll go out to dinner with bread friend.
Yeah, and keep them away from the knives and butter.
Yeah, we'll maybe put a little butter on them.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I'm so excited to have those. Oh my god.
Ooh,
Cute.
I logged into the reality viewer and I am Elf's wizard. I can cause all kinds of mischief.
Yeah, I added a whole bunch of wizards. I asked a few people if I could use them, and I resized them and stuff. But dude, like doing this has impressed like the people who have who started this idea, and they're gonna add the custom size sprites because of wizards. So you know what I mean?
Amazing.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Wait, I just turned into a llama.
As one does.
I went to Llama Land.
Oh yeah, you must have taken the boat to
I
the
did.
dock, and then dude, like that opens up a whole conversation of like my beliefs on the metaverse and stuff. Like I think portals are like way more important than land. But that's another
My
convo.
first conversation is how do I get back?
Oh yeah, you got to take the dock. You got to take dock number 2, which is my dock. Because I won a competition, I got that dock. It's like special. Like that whole thing is a special thing.
This is pretty cool, actually. Everyone should try it.
So I noticed we have Sporkly on stage, and we don't have a ton of time left in the show today. But I would love to give Sporkly a chance to read some lore that trying to read last week, and then I also have a bit of lore here from SPZ too. Depending on time, I would love to run both.
Let's do it. Right. Sporkly's here. Sporkly, hey. Oh my gosh, Sporkly, we've never spoken. I don't think
we haven't.
No, I don't think we've ever voiced, have we?
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
Hello. Well, everybody, this is Sporkly. You probably saw her in our Discord during the open beta because she was grinding Discord so hard for us, for the team, for the community. So welcome. It's awesome to talk.
Yeah, really great to hear your voice. So for lore, I do have something recorded that Motto has, and then I could also do something else, but I'm not sure about the time. The one that Madotuki has is like exactly 5 minutes if you want to prioritize that.
Let's do that.
No.
Do whichever one you want.
Fantastic, please. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about the time limit too much. I just recognize we were getting to be 3, but we very often run over. And for good lore, I think everyone has a few minutes to spare.
Good lore.
We spent enough time on banana extinction. We can make time for lore.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my
let's figure out if my soundboard works. That'll help me decide. Do you guys hear that?
Hey, yes.
That was great.
Okay, very nice. We are now going to do a reading of the lore of Al Shark of Torment Manor. A very, very, it's a piece. It's entitled A Series of Inchoate Grunts Coalesce into Verse. Obviously, this is very dignified and everything. Al, big fart, raise down, steel cart, sharp horse, fast ride, spent hence, inside, bad smell, cart turds, swear at, shitbirds, fly out. Ah, fuck. At least, not ducks. Bring cart. 2 cup. Saw off. Will clap. Within. Wall page. Scroll by. Dead mage. Can't read. Word sniff. Good job. Is stiff. Spell gives. Teeth curse. Who cares? Had worse. Get drunk. Go sleep. Loud snore. Dream deep. That boots. Burn fire. But I piss high. Smart gob. Outthink. But wake. Let's think. The P sound is intentional.
Oh my god.
Yo!
That was insane.
Wow.
So good. So good.
We just took a detour to Goblin Town.
Truly.
That was amazing.
Sporkly, was that some kind of like degenerate fart spell that you just cast on us? What was
It
that?
do be. It do be.
Yeah.
You gotta stay in character. I did it for the bit.
Wait, okay, like whose wizard was that attached to?
I
It was
wish
a
I
warrior.
knew.
It was a warrior. They're in the warrior 57. Al Shark of Torment Manor.
That's right. Okay, so it was a warrior, but like it sounded like some kind of spell that was being cast, like an incantation of some sort.
No, that's just him being goblin and goblin speaking. He doesn't speak very well. He doesn't like long sentences, so we'll keep it short.
Yeah.
So
That
there's
was
a
one of the
little-
best readings on Wizard Wednesday. I'm sorry. That was like 4D Wizard
Yeah,
Wednesday
that
lore.
was like May of 21 level, like Wizard Wednesday reading. Like OG spirits was in that lore. That was incredible.
So
You
I
know-
think you guys are
yeah.
totally tapping into something here, and I
Yeah.
think I found the linkage. So this character is owned by and lore is written by Lore Punk, who has also written a bunch of poems previously around Goblin Town. And so I think that's where you're seeing this like overlap. And this is very much in the style of some other stuff that I remember reading from Lore Punk when I very, very first found their work on Twitter.
Yes.
I mean, he has more work. This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Lore Punk's got a ton of stuff that they've written for the cult. I'm not sure what the best like repository of it is, but it's definitely out there and it's good.
I felt like I was on a ride at Disneyland. Like I need to go like find a little floating boat through a tunnel and like we experienced that. That is like, oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah, this warrior's name is Al Shark of Torment Manor. Like some of these names that these warriors have are just so spectacular. I've never heard that name. I've never seen it, and it's so weird. I love it.
The things that happen when you have a name generator.
Exactly.
Sporkly, that was incredible. Thank you for putting that together and reading that. That was so good.
I'm happy to
Yeah,
give it
sorry,
live.
one more thing. Sporkly, that wasn't just like a pure recording. You did that live with like a soundboard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Gosh.
Well done.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I try my best.
I was already a huge fan. Now melting. Now just melting down. That was amazing. That really was vibes, like 2021 vibes. I just put me in. The sun just actually came out just now.
Yeah, if there was any sign that the banana zone is imminent, that was it.
I totally agree. Sporkly, amazing.
All right. Okay, so do we have another lore reading for today?
Yeah, I've got a recording here that was created and submitted to me from SPZ.
All right, let's do it.
I listened to just the very beginning of this just to like check sound level and everything. And when I downloaded it, I was met with the file name, which I'm not gonna lie, threw me off for just a hot second. The the name of this audio recording is called "The One Who Swings."
Once upon a dream, in the vast expanse of realms where swords clashed, wizards encanted, and prophecies meandered with the reliability of a drunken bard, there existed two figures as diametrically opposed as sense and sensibility, Wazir and Sharon. Magus Wazir of the Mount, of course, was known as the One Who Rings, a title he wore with the grace of a well-pressed robe and the dignity of a sage who has seen too much, yet never quite enough. With a golden bell that dangled from his hand like an overripe fruit of goodwill, Wazir rang in times of peace, unity, and all those other nauseatingly wholesome things that make one's teeth itch. His bell was not just a bell, you see. It was an instrument of harmony, a talisman of tranquility, and occasionally a nifty little trinket to annoy house pets. When Wazir rang his bell, kingdoms paused in their incessant squabbles to reflect on the better nature of humanity, which, unsurprisingly, led to the swift and unanimous decision to resume squabbling immediately after. But then there was Sharon. Now, Sharon had no interest in bells, unless they were being used to fortify his ears against the dreadful sound of peace. He hailed from a corner of the universe where joy was as welcome as a tax collector at a tavern, and unity was something you achieved with a spiked bat and sufficient persistence. And what a bat it was! A weapon of such crude elegance that it made a mace look like an ornamental doily. This bat was no ordinary stick. It was a snarling, spiked beast forged in the fires of sheer obstinacy and tempered with the resolve of someone who has been on the losing side of far too many debates. Sharon didn't ring. Sharon swung. Where Wazir would walk into a room and with a delicate flick of his wrist chime a melodious note that could bring a tear to the eye, Sharon would burst through the nearest wall, bat in hand, and offer a robust interpretation of knocking. Where Wazir sought unity, Sharon sought to test the structural integrity of everything in his vicinity, particularly skulls. And where Wazir brought peace, Sharon brought what one might call peace through superior firepower. It was at the fateful Battle of Clatterbridge that Sharon truly earned his moniker, though to hear him tell it, he was simply doing what needed to be done. Wazir had taken his place on a hill, ringing his bell with the serene smile of a man who's never had to clean up the aftermath of his own idealism. Below him, the warriors on both sides began to lay down their arms, overcome by the spirit of brotherhood and the impending threat of a joint holiday. This, Sharon felt, was simply not on. And with a bellow that sounded like someone had set a mountain on fire, he descended upon the battlefield, his bat, a thing of beauty and excessive craftsmanship, held high. Where Wazir rang, Sharon swung. And as he swung, it became abundantly clear that his swings were not just the motions of a man fighting a battle. They were his philosophy, his creed, and, to be frank, his favorite pastime. The clash of his bat against helmet, shield, and the occasional boulder rang out across the land with all the subtlety of a symphony performed by drunk ogres. The chiming of bells was now drowned out by the rhythm of Sharon's unrelenting strikes, each swing a note in a brutal concerto that sang of finality rather than harmony. When the dust settled and the battlefield was littered with the remains of what had once been called peace talks, Sharon stood alone, bat resting on his shoulder as though it were merely a comforting weight. But the survivors, nursing their collective injuries, looked upon him with a mixture of awe and deep-seated desire to be anywhere else. The legend of Sharon, the one who swings, was born not in the soft chime of a bell, but in the resounding thud of a point made, firmly and repeatedly. And so it was that Sharon and Wazir, though destined to be remembered together, would never be mistaken for one another. Where one brought people together, the other ensured they had something to stay apart for. And in the grand tapestry of history, it was clear. Every time a bell rings, a bat swings.
Damn.
Very funny.
This sounds like a challenge to the one who rings. Does Waz know that there's this pugnacious warrior out there swinging bats when when Waz is swinging bells?
Yeah, it feels real
Yeah.
one-to-one challengey, yeah.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Oh, this is a good lore day. Jeez.
Entropy, you said SPZ wrote that one?
Yeah, that's from SPZ.
Nice. Good job, SPZ.
Yeah.
SPZ has one of the premier collections of Forgotten Runes, Wizards, and Warriors, by the way.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay, guys, we're pretty much out of time. Is there anything else before I hit the Chronicle?
I'm good.
Yep.
In that case, it is time for the Cult Content Chronicle compiled by
The illustrious
Tani Del Rio.
Every damn week.
That was the best one we've
perfect
ever done.
execution. 10 out of 10.
Clip it, record it, put it on the soundboard.
Let's go.
We did
and
it.
the little sparkly at the end. Oh, that was so tasteful.
Incredible, guys! I'm floored. That was amazing.
I was holding my breath.
I don't even know if I can do the Chronicle now. It's just, okay, just straight up like. Okay, let's get into it.
How many devs does it take to intro the Cult Content Chronicle?
All right, here we go. Number one, Ponyboy shared a really nice commission by everyone's favorite cult artist, Oz. Yeah, I remember this one from this week. It's a bunch of warriors. I remember when Oz did a wizard version of this, and now he's done a warrior version. Very nice Ponyboy. Well done, Oz. Number two, as Jason shared with us earlier, there's basically the project that he's working on. And there, in this particular post, he's got a dragon showing up at the wizard fishing pond. Number three, Virgilius the Sorcerer has been sharing a lot of great artwork of his wizard and warrior at Mount Kurama. He's got two pieces here. Number five, Meeple Dad shared a sneak peek of one of his character cards that he's collaborating on with Shadowy 30. And, it's not just one of the character cards. It's my character card, in fact. And it's looking pretty badass. Meeple has also been sharing some really fun posts of the items from the Athenaeum, and this particular one is Dota's fiddle. Metamori found a really nice stick. He did a little wand crafting, actually. You know what? That's a really fun project. Create your own wand.
Yeah, Wand
That's
Nation.
so simple and fun.
It's so fun.
I almost feel like we should have a contest, like create your own wand in real life. There could be some fun ideas from that. But so far, Mori is the reigning champion of creating your own wand, because this does look pretty cool. Okay, Daniela Lustra continues to impress everybody with the comic that she's been working on. Shinobi Big Out Coco shared some artwork of a warrior that they're working on. Feckless continues with hilarious, adorable bread friend art. Yeah, just go look at this one. It's pretty cute. I won't try to explain it. Clooney the Rat continues building for Nifty Island. Shared a bunch of different versions of the icosahedron D20 dice. Magus Devon. Matto, are you growing weed in your house? Straight up.
Actually, it's not in the house. It's outside. There's a nice garden with it. But yeah.
Okay. That is a beautiful piece of grass you got there, buddy. Very impressive. Okay. Nate at Hi, I am Nate. Shared a Forgotten Runes inspired PFP. But it looks like I think that's Doctor Doom from Marvel.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
definitely Dr.
yeah,
Doom.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
an homage to the character. The original post was, "I don't own my own wizard, but I love what the cult is doing, and I loved Runiverse games, so I'm going to make this commission in this, or I'm going to make this piece in the style of Forgotten Runes."
Nice.
And a really cool thing happened actually after this was posted. Somebody hopped into the comments and was asking a few questions and sent Nate a warrior. So now they can be a proper part of the cult, not as though they weren't
that's
prior, but super cool to see the community step up and kind of welcome somebody in like that. It was really cool.
It does feel like
That-
we're entering the banana zone. The vibes are immaculate right now.
The vibes are shifting. Yep. Entry, do you know who sent them a warrior?
Yeah, let me check in here. I think this was Urukai, somebody who I can't say I recognize super well from prior in the cult. Their at is Psy Crypto, PSYCHRYPTO. They're in the replies down there. But
Nice.
yeah, it was really cool. Just like ask some questions, express some appreciation, and was like, you know what, I'm going to send you a warrior.
Beautiful. I love it. So good. Okay, Wild Mage's birthday. It was Wild Mage's birthday recently. A piece of artwork of his wizard enjoying a birthday cake with a bunch of cute little kitties. Malevolent.eth shared this beautiful piece of pixel art. I remember that he commissioned from a while back. I also commissioned one from this artist. I just love this artist style. Enchanter Orbis shared a really fun gen of his wizard with a slime donut. Adept Igdual continues to share some really great gens of his dapper wizard. Meeple Dad continues with Riddles of the Dark, day 268. Jason DeSante continues with Daily Dancing Wizzy Vizzy Viddies, number 70. I like this one because I'm in this one. Magic Monday News. NFT Sasha was the special guest who I assume told everyone all about the project that he's working on with Oz. We talked about that last week. It's so exciting. I can't wait to see more of that. Sea Cats Crying made a really nice commission for Magus Devon. And I think that's it, actually. All right. Guys, anything else?
So
I'm
we've
gonna-
got for this week. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm in a very, very good mood now. Thank you, Colt, for being so awesome. Banana Zone.
And Cosmic Nightjar just said it was Crucifor's birthday recently as well. So happy birthday, Crucifor.
Happy birthday.
Happy.
Happy birthday, Lizard.
Okay, Entropy, can you fire it up?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome to the beginning of the Banana Zone. I think it's up only from here. This has been Elf Dotta Bear, Entropy Jitsi, Mata, Feckless, Sporkly, Tad Major Jason, and all of the Wizards of the Forgotten Runes Wizards Cult, channeling out from the Quantum Downs. GN, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.
Channeling from the Quantum Downs. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Black Goat Elf, Dotta Puppet too. Bearsnake by the ocean blue. It's Wizard Wednesday. It's Wizard Wednesday. Kobolds and Dream Master Sword. Putting their rune on the door.
Man, I was gonna do like a fun retro scratch thing and then change the tune, but somebody brought up the Chimera song for the first beast, so we're gonna play that as the outro today. Sorry, it didn't work the way that I wanted it to.
I had been training my mind. Wow, wow. It's the little things that happen in the middle of the night. Go on, they say, love is blind. Wow, wow. It's the little things that happen in the middle of the night. Roll go far. Follow the guiding star to a gate among the hills. Heavy rocks, nobody's seen it before. Gather, all who hold a key or a spell. Nobody could really tell what lies in wait past the door. And I wonder why. And I wonder why. Everyone started to talk, whoa, of the little things that happen in the middle of the night. Saints said to wait for the block, wow, for the little things that happen in the middle of the night. Suddenly, light shone from the golden key. Spells shot out so bright and clean, and the locks falling free one by one. Turn again, door opens a distant scene. Chimera with eyes so neat, stepping out from the light of the strange sun. And I wonder why. And I wonder why. I've been changing my mind. Wow. It's the little things that happen in the middle of the night. Gate closes quickly behind. Wow. It's the little things that happen. Oh, beast full of magic and might. Blue heat, higher than the eyes could see. Dignified and strange and free. His call echoed straight to the ground. Drums and reeds in the valleys answering, longing for the strangest thing. When all of this spawn will be found. And I wonder why. Yeah, I wonder why. It's the little things that happen in the middle of the night, the middle of